Candy, is it a treat or is it a trick? I have candy here on the table for anybody who would like a piece. The NRF claims that Americans spend $9 billion each year on candy. We spend $2.5 billion of that in the month of October alone. That is a lot of candy. Excessive candy consumption can lead to tooth decay and an increased risk of obesity. However, candy such as dark chocolate can lead to a lowered risk of heart disease as well as a lowered risk of depression. Now here's what happens when you eat candy. The naturally occurring sugars in your mouth react with the sugars within the candy and they form a kind of acid which can start to attack your tooth enamel, which starts to break them down. The National Dentist Association claims that sticky candies such as Starburst are particularly the worst for this because they cling to your teeth and they don't wash away as easily with saliva. And so that gives the sugar more time to really sink into the crevices of your teeth and start to break down that enamel. Now, sour candies can be as bad for your teeth as battery acid would be. If you look at a pH scale, you have a pH of 1, which is very acidic, which is what battery acid is. And then you have a pH of 7, which would be like water, which is neutral. At a pH of 4, at about in the middle, is when tooth enamel can start to break down. Now, candies that I don't even consider to be sour, such as Skittles, are already at a pH of 3. So even when you eat Skittles, they're already starting to have a wear and tear on your teeth. But candies can go as low as the sour Warhead spray or at a pH of 1.6. So if you compare that to battery acid, which is at a pH of 1, there's not much of a difference. So it's really important to stay conscious of the foods that you put in your mouth and how that may affect your teeth. Now, another problem that candy consumption can be linked to is obesity. Obesity is a multifactorial problem. It's not something that you could link just to one particular thing. However, study after study shows that excessive sugar consumption leads to weight gain, which can in turn lead to obesity. Now, when talking about candy, this is particularly a problem when it comes to childhood obesity, simply because children don't necessarily understand the concept of moderation yet. Now, the candy that I have here, the serving size of this candy would be 2 pieces. How many of you would have the self-control to only eat 2 pieces? Not many of us. It's very difficult. So it's difficult, especially for children, just because they don't necessarily understand the repercussions that could potentially occur if you don't practice self-control. But if you're like me and you do have a sweet tooth, I do have good news for you. Candies such as dark chocolate can have positive health effects on you. Dark chocolate has been linked to a lowered risk of heart disease. Dark chocolate is packed full of antioxidants, which are heart healthy. Dark chocolate has also been linked to a lowered risk of depression. Dark chocolate contains opioids, which are morphine-like. They're pain relievers. And it also, when you eat dark chocolate, it releases dopamine in your brain, which in turn leads to a healthier and happier mental well-being. A study performed by the Black Dog Institute of 3,000 people who said that they felt depressed, 45% of those people said that they claimed chocolate. Of that 45%, 60% of those people said that when they ate dark chocolate, that their mood improved and they also felt less depressed. So in conclusion, it's just important to remember moderation. Eating an excessive amount of candy can lead to health problems such as tooth decay as well as obesity. However, it can also lead to good things, health benefits, such as a lowered risk of heart disease as well as a lowered risk of depression.